The Doctor Is In is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio and carried across the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
I need you to knock some sense into me. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I don't know.
I enjoy listening to you. I don't always agree with everything.
All right, enough of this persiflage.
So, you want my question?
I'm certainly not going to get myself in trouble by telling you what to do.
That makes great sense. Gosh, that's good.
Did I overwhelm you with words and wisdom?
I've got 7 kids. I feel like I could call you every day.
Wait, you're telling me I'm wrong? Disconnect.
Yes, I am, Dr. Ray.
You just need to tune in to Dr. Ray, honey. He's got all the answers.
Am I right or am I right?
Probably.
Now, from the studios of Living Bread Radio Network in Canton, Ohio, the hometown of Mother Angelica, here's Dr. Ray.
Last day here in Washington, D.C. at WMET AM 1160, Guadalupe Radio Network affiliate. That big, booming network, 40-plus stations scattered all over the place. It's been delightful to be here. Been here 3 days. The last 2 days, we were over at the Catholic University of America, taping 4 episodes of Living Right with Dr. Ray. And I'll tell you, the kids, pound for pound, clap for clap, they add more volume and enthusiasm to an audience for the show. So I just want to say thanks to all the kids. Interestingly enough, we had a situation where we had a whole bunch of folks in the audience, probably 120. Long about halfway through the show, and this is the magic of the cameras, they got up, about half of them got up and left. I said, is it something that I said? Is it another psychologist? Has the love gone out of our relationship? One of the students in the front row said, no. Adoration starts. That many kids left for adoration. And I said something like, so the rest of you here, what are you, the pagans? What are you, are you going to levitate? What are you going to do here? It's a good thing they didn't leave. We wouldn't have had anybody. But wonderful audiences. I cannot thank the folks at the Catholic University of America enough, for myself, for my producer Dick Russ, and all of the guys who put together with the lighting and the cameras and making me look somewhat decent on air. So thank you so much. Now, I am here, WMET. Joe Schuler, the boss man here, is still battling this computer. All right. Well, you can call in because Eric Dumont will answer the phone, and he will tell me you are there. You texted me the link. All right, let me give it to Joe here. Let me push on this. There it is, Joe, whatever that means there. 877-573-7825. 877-57-EQUAL. That is the number to call to get onto the program if you would like to get through. I'd be delighted very much to have you with me, whether it's a question about a kid, comment about a kid, an adult, an elderly person. Doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be something personal to yourself. It could be something where psychology intersects with faith. It can be something that you don't understand about emotions or about a diagnosis or about particular therapy or looking for a therapist. There's not a whole lot of limit here. Now, as you get further out in the bounds of human knowledge, I have more and more chance to be wrong. But even at that, it's going to drop down to like 98.2% correct quotient. So 877-57-EQUAL is the number to talk to Eric Dumont first, and then to me. A parent of a teen will be sitting in my office with the teen. The parent will be describing what's going on in the home. About every 6-8 sentences, the teen will interject. Mom, that's not the way it was. And the mom quietly just continues, maybe looks at the child, but continues. 6-8 seconds later. Mom, right, Mom. Okay, that's your opinion. It's how you see it, Mom. You always see it your way. And the parent will quietly proceed further with more details. At which point, again, the child may not say something, but she, like this. Now, after several of these, I might ask the parent, do you hear how you're being talked to? The parent will look at me befuddled, kind of dumbstruck. What do you mean? As if to say so with their face. And I'd say, well, does she always kind of talk to you like this? And the parent will say, well, yeah, that's part of the problem. Yeah, a lot of it. I call it the battered parent syndrome. The parent has been the object of disrespect for so long and for so consistently that she doesn't even register how she's being treated or talked to. It's like she has habituated to the drug. It no longer has the potency to make her aware that something's happening. Rolling of the eyes, huffy sighs, whatever it might be, it's for the most part either ignored or reasoned with, or maybe in a weak attempt to stop it. Watch how you talk, young lady. You watch your tone. Now, that's really not discipline. That's just more or less some kind of warning, which probably has been uttered hundreds of times. Came home one day. My wife appeared to be anyway, clearly upset. Now, before I go any further with this monologue, I want to underline this. This is not my attempt to make you ladies dissatisfied with your husband's ability to read your nonverbal communication. I am a highly trained professional. I am able to pick up on the subtleties of my spouse's communication that the average layperson would just miss totally. And this was an example of one of those times. My wife came out of the house as I was pulling into the garage, and she was expressing some very, very subtle frustration, which I picked up on. Don't be envious, ladies. As I said, I'm trained. She was saying, I do not like them, Ray, I am. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like them. They're in my hair. Now, I picked up on this. I noticed it. I said, honey, something wrong? She said, it's Sarah. Now, Sarah at that time was our 13-year-old estrogen American. At that point, Sarah came out of the house, said, I'm done, Mom, what's next? My wife gave her another chore. I asked, honey, what's that all about? She said, well, I gave Sarah an hour worth of labor. Now, in our house, labor is chores. You have to do what you're told. During that time, you can't act like you're a victim, put a pawn, like you're coming off of cocaine. No, you have to just simply cooperatively do what you're asked to do because that's your consequence for what you did. Now, I figure, okay, an hour's worth of chores. She must have thrown a brick through a wall or something. You still struggling there, Joe? Okay, good luck. I am no help, buddy. So I asked my wife, what did Sarah do? She rolled her eyes at me. Huh? Rolling your eyes at your mother. 1 hour worth of labor? Is that because rolling eyes is so awful and out of character for a 13-year-old girl? No. it's because your mother is so valuable. Your mother's worthy of respect. I totally agree with my wife. There's no way I'm going to say, "Ooh, that's kind of heavy, isn't it, honey, for you to do that to Sarah? It's kind of rough." No, you don't roll your eyes at somebody. You try doing that to adults. Go ahead. Roll your eyes at anybody who says something you disagree with, something you don't like. Just roll your eyes at them. See how many eye rollings it takes before they say, "You know what, I don't like you. I don't want to be around you. You're demeaning." Now, the experts have told parents, well, that rolling of the eyes, kind of that's teenager stuff. That's what they do. Well, I don't care. It's what they do. It's not good. Sinning is what we all do. That's not good. Sinning is normal to the human condition. It's not right. It's not good. So rolling eyes may be normal to the teenage condition, but it's not good. So my wife gave Sarah an hour worth of labor. And my wife is highly sensitive to that kind of demeaning sign that the kids are giving off. She even having all those kids. At one time, we had 7 teenagers in the house. I didn't go home. I UPS'd her things. She was still very sensitive. She hadn't fallen prey to the battered parent syndrome, which is if you fall short of throwing a table or cussing, then I don't notice it. No, my wife notices real subtle things. Trust me, I know. How do you pull out of a battered parent syndrome? You start paying more attention. You start noticing, have I gotten to the point where I just kind of let this stuff roll past me? Now, I'm not saying you argue and fight about it. You don't say, "That's it, I've had enough with you. Done." No. I would say you do something about it. Whether it's write an essay of apology, whether it's 1 hour's worth of labor, whether it's writing sentences, whether it is 2 hours in your room. I don't care. You decide. You're the parent. You know what works best in your house. But the point being, you need to tighten up a little bit on disrespect, because I will tell you the thing about disrespect, it doesn't stay subtle. It pushes, and it generally becomes worse. 877-573-7825. 877-57-EQUAL. That is the number to call to get onto the program. I'm Dr. Ray.
Ann Arbor Smiles is a state-of-the-art dental practice led by the talents of Doctors Dan Kennedy, Chris Marzoni, and Stephen Gray. One of their many satisfied patients is Father Deacon Lawrence Hendricks.
I was one of the first patients to receive a CEREC crown from Dr. Kennedy. The CEREC technology allows for restorations to be done in one visit. They always use the most advanced techniques in dentistry. I've always enjoyed the friendly staff and the personal relationships that I have at Ann Arbor Smiles.
Go to AnnArborSmiles.com today.
The Heart of the Interior Life with Elizabeth Jangle.
In the third rule of the discernment of spirits, the first description St. Ignatius of Loyola gives to teach about spiritual consolation describes the soul being inflamed with the love of God. He writes, "I call it consolation when some interior movement is caused in the soul, through which the soul comes to be inflamed with love of its Creator and Lord." What is this inflaming of the soul that Ignatius is speaking about? St. Ignatius is describing any warming of the heart that brings with it an increase in the love of God that we experience within our interior spiritual experience. Feelings of warming and uplift of heart with love for God. The duration and intensity of this inflaming, as with all gifts of spiritual consolation, varies and leaves its blessing. Let us open our hearts to God's gift of spiritual consolation and welcome the blessing it brings.
For more information, visit AveMariaRadio.net.
Underwritten in part by the following nonprofit.
Do you feel as though life is flying past you? Are you desperate for a way to find moments of peace and quiet? Lord, Teach Me to Pray, the free Ignatian Prayer Series, will open your heart to His voice, to the peace you are seeking and the only love that fulfills the human heart, Jesus. God is calling you to true joy, knowing Jesus personally. Lord Teach Me to Pray is free. Go to LordTeachMeToPray.com, click on the red box, order the Lord Teach Me to Pray series now. Go to LordTeachMeToPray.com.
From the studios of WMET 1160 AM here in Washington, D.C., as I look out this window to my right, see the imposing Capitol Dome with about 9 or 10 buildings between me and it. And they look like they're all government buildings. As I look at the traffic to the left, well, I don't know if that's a road or a parking lot. That's the speed at which they are moving. 877-573-7825 is the number to call to get onto the program. Let us go to Mary from League City, Texas. Hey, Mary.
Hi, Dr. Ray. How are you?
Well, nothing gaining on me that I know of. You know, there could be stuff gaining on me inside there, but I don't know anything about it.
That's always possible. Yeah. So I'm calling because I have a dispute that I would really use your help in settling. 2 of my 6 kids, ages 11 and 14, have decided that I am not allowed to post their pictures on my Facebook page to share with friends and family because it's their image, therefore they have all rights to it, and I, as their mother, no longer have those rights, even though I've been sharing their pictures since they were born, pretty much.
Well, Mary, what made them decide this now?
I think there's an outside influence. It's almost a social contagion. They've picked up from their peers that it's not cool to have your pictures, unless they're doing it, in which case that's fine.
So they can post. They can post pictures. It's not a matter of I don't want you posting pictures because I look bad in some of them. It's a matter of you don't do it, Mom. Only when I want to do it.
Yeah, at their discretion, and they, and even if it's a family photo, they kind of get mad, or birthday parties and stuff.
Tell them you put them little black things across their eyes. That you put in photos there, so you can't recognize who it is.
I did that.
Pixelate their face.
Emoji over her face. Yeah, she got really, really mad that time. Yeah, is it a reasonable request that they have? At what age do they get to put their foot down and say, no, you can't share my photo because it's mine?
I guess when they're out of the house. Think about this, Mary. The fact that you are asking, is this a reasonable request? And even worse, you're coming to me for advice.
Right.
This is your house.
Yeah.
This is your decision. Plus the thing that I think, okay, I'm going to put myself in your shoes best I can.
Okay.
My feet hurt because I probably wear a bigger size. But if one of my kids at ages 11 and 14 came to me and said, I don't want you posting pictures of me, I'd say, anywhere? Not at all? They'd say, not at all. I said, not even to Grandma?
Mm-hmm.
No. All right. What's your reason for this, son? Or more likely, daughter. What's your reason for this? It's not your right. It's my face. I can put my face where I want it. Okay. I respect that. I respect your right. Unfortunately, my right is higher than yours.
Yeah, that's what I typically say, yeah.
And if I wish to post these to family and friends of our family, I will. Okay. Now, at some point, you have to decide, Mary, what's the pushback? Okay. On one hand, in the old days, before the experts flooded all over parenthood, in the old days, you said, well, they're going to be mad. They're going to be mad. They're not going to like this. They're going to be mad. And the parent would say, yeah, they will. I make a lot of decisions my kids are mad about. That's the way it is. Mm-hmm. They don't understand why I'm doing what I'm doing because they're kids. Now, that's the old days. In the modern days, when parents are more insecure about doing something psychologically wrong, they think, well, I don't know. Is this intrusive? Am I not respecting my children's desires, my children's feelings? And furthermore, how ugly are they going to get about this? I mean, will they resent me?
Or are they going to resent me later on?
There it is. I said that. Are they going to resent me? Why are you projecting ahead, my dear?
Oh, well, I've got some older kids. They already resent me, so, you know.
Mm-hmm. You did what you thought was best. You didn't have children to say, I'm going to see what I can do to make them resent me. You didn't do that. What you did is, I got to make judgments. Some of them they're not going to like, and some of them they're going to resent. And they may even carry those resentments into adulthood. However, I have to do what I think is best. And if I think it's perfectly within my rights to share pictures with loved ones of our family and our family's doings, which our loved ones want, they're not looking at them as brag pictures.
Right.
Then I will. Now, here's the pushback problem. You got to decide, Mary, how ugly you're going to allow them to be. On one hand, if they disagree with you and that's pretty much where it ends, okay, no problem. However, and I don't know if they have phones or not, but you might say this is a condition of having that phone. Mm-hmm. You said they post pictures. They must have phones.
Well, no. Let me take that back. My 11-year-old was really into a few months ago making videos with her friend and uploading those, and she was fine with the idea. Although we kind of put a stop to that because that's weird.
Yes, you don't just send them outside. You don't send them outside where you don't know where they're going.
Out in public, right? But she's fine with complete strangers seeing her do a silly dance on a video. But if I take out my phone to take a picture, they hide their faces.
Well, see, this is what I think they're basically saying. No pun intended here, Mary. In your face, Mom.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me. See, this to me, and again, I'm not in your home, Mary, but to me, this really sounds like defiance. It just sounds like I'm going to do this because I know you don't want me to do it. And I'm going to do it because I got 9 friends who think, man, your mom's weird. You're the one who posts pictures, not your mom.
Yeah. Or your priest is saying, hey, I saw your picture on Facebook, and they're going,
ooh, ooh. Yeah, I think the dynamic's a little deeper here, Mary. I'm just speculating wildly, which I do, that this resistance and resentment for you doing this is kind of going deeper, which is, Mom, you are intruding in our life, and we will set the boundaries of what you are allowed to do, Mother. And this is one of them. And I think as a parent, if you decide, nope, that's not a boundary, I'm going to stay behind, and you do it, you say, nope, that's what I'm going to do. And if you resent me, well, go for it.
Right.
I mean, there were times I made all kinds of decisions that my kids looked at and said, I don't understand this one at all. There's a lot of people who don't think like this. Well, now they're adults, and thank God many of them, if not all of them, are gone. Now I got it, Dad. Now I see. Right. I say, you guys are more conservative than I am.
Yeah. Well, and okay, so when it comes to embarrassment, because I think with my 14-year-old, it's more about he's embarrassed. He's shy. And he's very timid about people paying attention to him. How much do you cater to childhood embarrassment, and how much do you go?
I would understand that if he said, "Mom, I really am embarrassed about my picture anywhere." Okay, all right, I got that. I can respect that. I'll do that. But no, he's not doing that. He's saying, "You can't, Mom. I can." Now, maybe he's saying, "Well, I'll make sure that when I put it out, I look okay." And you just aren't doing some impromptu thing of me walking into the bathroom. Okay.
Right.
I got that. So I think at this point you say, well, okay, so I'll make you a deal. If I'm not going to post any pictures, you're not either. Mary, good stuff. Thank you. This is Dr. Ray, 877-573-7825. Bottom of the hour, and that's usually where we get more calls. And if you call in, I will take you. We got time. We'll do it.
Do you own popular index mutual funds or ETFs? If so, you're automatically own shares of companies that conflict with your moral beliefs. Ave Maria mutual funds are managed to conform to pro-life and pro-family values. Long-term investors can invest in the no-load Ave Maria mutual funds. The experienced professional portfolio managers make decisions based on investment fundamentals and pro-life values. You can learn more about Ave Maria mutual funds today at 866 Ave Maria or visit AveMariaFunds.com.
Outside my office window, a rose of Sharon bush greets me with lavender blooms that flourish in the summer sun. It's one of my favorite sights throughout the day, a quiet companion that reminds me to pause and take in beauty. Through my training in positive intelligence, I've learned that anchoring ourselves in one of the body's senses, like sight, can help retrain the brain and weaken the grip of sabotaging thoughts. When I gaze at those delicate petals, I see God's artwork on full display. The beauty almost instantly calms me. I feel the stress begin to melt away, replaced by a sense of peace and presence. So the next time negative thoughts try to hijack your day, turn your gaze towards nature, God's creation. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. That's from the Gospel of Matthew. Spend time observing something beautiful in nature. Notice the colors, shapes, and textures. Breathe deeply. Invite God into the moment. This has been a Christ-Centered Communication message. I'm Vanessa Denhagarmo, a communications evangelist and host of Epiphany.
Hi, I'm Matthew Handley from PurpleCatholic.com, inviting you to my new program, Death Comes for the Archbishop. Each week, we'll explore Willa Cather's timeless novel of faith and frontier life in 19th century New Mexico. You'll hear vivid narration and thoughtful conversations with historians and theologians who bring its spiritual depth to life. Death Comes for the Archbishop, Saturdays at noon on Ave Maria Radio.
I got that persiflage that we do in that opening bumper. Persiflage is kind of playful banter. It's the same as, it would be the same as, what's the other word for persiflage? Badinage. Same thing. Got this French sound. And I was accused, somebody said, Ray, you continuously mispronounce words, trying to sound smart. My reaction was, oh yeah, continuously. Talk about the epitome of hyperbole. All right, so let's go to Eric. He's a pa. Either that or he's calling from Pennsylvania. He has a question about apologies, and I think he's referring to my most recent book, How to Get Along with Almost Everybody. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Dr. Ray. How are you?
Okay, good, sir.
Thank you for your work in the mental health community. I've been following your work for many years.
You sound smarter. You didn't used to sound that smart.
Yeah, I apply myself.
Good enough. So what do you want to know in detail about the apology chapter?
Oh, sure. So that's I don't know if you have the book in front of you, Dr. Ray, but it's page 133, to forgive or not to forgive. And my two questions are very, very quick. I know you're busy. Cultural consequences of forgiveness versus cultural consequences of acceptance, and how that's negotiated after you've known somebody for a very long time. Like, how much does forgiveness and apology have to do with, how long you've known somebody, and whether it's a family member or a neighbor, a friend. What is apology, forgiveness in relation to the time spent with somebody, the investment in somebody? Thank you.
There's a multi-layer answer to your question.
Oh, you still want me on the phone?
Yeah, you can stay there.
Oh, okay.
First place, typically in a relationship that starts to get strained or ruptures or breaks, it's because I didn't do anything wrong, and the other person says, yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
You have to decide, okay, what am I going to do about this? Am I going to dig my heels in and say, well, I didn't, and you're not getting an apology? At which point, it leads into what you asked, which is, What's this relationship about? Is it long-term? Is it family? Was it formerly close? Is it worth salvaging? So you have to decide. You got to weigh it. And in most cases, these situations are with someone who is either in your close emotional circle or family member. So I usually say, apologize. Well, I don't know how much I did wrong. Well, just apologize for whatever percentage you did wrong. Now, the other layer. You didn't do anything wrong. And pretty much everybody you would talk to would agree you didn't do anything wrong. The other person insists that you did. They misinterpreted it. They became aggrieved. They became offended. What are you going to do now? I usually advise apologize anyway. I had a situation once in my own family where they thought I did something wrong, and there's no way I did. But I went and said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't think before I talked. I ask your forgiveness. At which point, we moved to another level here, Eric. She didn't forgive. She sullenly listened to me, and the relationship that I had thought for years was reasonably warm cooled quite a few degrees. I had apparently committed some kind of unforgivable sin. Now, fortunately, that's kind of repaired itself, but it took years of just time and other contacts. So, given that, I would say you apologize if you think you're wrong. And most of the time, we are wrong, and we don't allow ourselves to admit that. You apologize when you are absolutely convinced you aren't wrong, but the other person thinks you are. And as long as it stays an impasse like that, that relationship's going to be disrupted or ruined. So I think you weigh it, and you say, okay, I'm going to apologize. They think I'm wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong. They misinterpreted it. They misunderstood it. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to acknowledge their perception, and I'm going to apologize. Now, sometimes that fixes things, and sometimes it doesn't. I have parents call this program all the time who say, I've tried so many times to reach out to my young estranged adult, and I've contacted, I've apologized over and over, and they won't budge. So, well, and this goes to your question again, Eric. You can give an apology graciously, humbly, heroically, and it can still be rejected.
Wow.
You can only control doing the right thing. You cannot control how the right thing will be accepted.
Wow. Okay.
All right, my friend. Hey, thanks for letting me clarify that. Did you like the book?
Yes, I do like the book, Dr. Ray, and I literally follow along while your radio program is, broadcasting, and I try to find topics related to the callers that pertain to your writings. So I have 2 books right now, and I'm working on, just collecting more.
Good enough.
Your literature.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, thank you, Dr. Ray.
All right. Hey, I got to announce this. One of the reasons I'm here in D.C. is to do the filming of the TV show, but I will be heading toward, I believe it's pronounced Metuchen, New Jersey, on Saturday, men's conference there at St. Francis, giving 2 talks, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So I imagine they are still taking reservations. So I'm not sure exactly how you sign up for that. I imagine you could just kind of do a little web search and find out the men's conference on this coming Saturday at Metuchen. We got a lot of listeners in our affiliate, Jim and Cheryl Manfredonia, that wonderful station there. I've talked with them many, many times about different stuff. The only time they ever talk to me is if I write a book, and then I get their attention. But I'm getting a little tired of that. I have to write a book every year just to get them to talk to me. They're sweet people, and they're Italian, so that's okay. Given that, they said they got a lot of listeners up in that area. So Metuchen, New Jersey, men's conference, St. Francis in Metuchen. All right. I can look at the clock here. I can't really start another question. I got questions here I want to take care of. 877-573-7825. 877-57-EQUAL. That is the number to call to get onto the program, and we have time. We always have time, and a lot of times people say, I don't want to call towards the end of the program. I'll never get on. Not necessarily so. Or to quote the old song, it ain't necessarily so. So you can get on. The lines are open. Eric Dumont is both call screaming and producing the program. Andrew is not here today. I don't know where he is. Hope I didn't drive him away by something I said. 877-57-EQUAL. That is the number to get onto the program. And here in the studios of WMET, the Guadalupe Radio affiliate.
All women are invited to the new weekend retreat, A Virtuous Woman Growing in Virtue Through God's Grace. The retreat is at St. Francis Retreat Center in DeWitt and includes set-aside time for Mass, confession, adoration, and individual reflection. 4 weekend dates are available between November 2025 and April 2026. The suggested donation is $215. Visit stfrancis.ws to register today.
Looking for a more peaceful family by Christmas? Join Dr. Greg and Lisa Popchak for a free live webinar, Have a More Peaceful Family by Christmas. It's Thursday, November 13th from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Discover practical ways to reclaim Advent with purpose, prayer, and joy. Don't let Advent slip by in stress and distraction. Join the Popchaks and turn this season into a sacred success story. Register now at AveMariaRadio.net and make this Advent your most intentional yet.
All are invited to attend the St. John of the Cross Secular Order of Discalced Carmelites fall event featuring Father John Ricardo speaking on Priesthood, the Unspoken Crisis, Why Praying for Priests Matters. This free event begins with Mass at 8:30 a.m. on Saturday, November 15th at Christ the King Parish in Ann Arbor, followed by breakfast, the talk, and Eucharistic adoration. Visit the community calendar at AveMariaRadio.net for details.
Do you own popular index mutual funds or ETFs? If so, you're automatically own shares of companies that conflict with your moral beliefs. Ave Maria mutual funds are managed to conform to pro-life and pro-family values. Long-term investors can invest in the no-load Ave Maria mutual funds. The experienced professional portfolio managers make decisions based on investment fundamentals and pro-life values. You can learn more about Ave Maria mutual funds today at 866-AVE-MARIA or visit AveMariaFunds.com.
Top of things, producer man today, Eric Dumont, and also serving as call screamer, told me if you want information about that men's conference in Metuchen, New Jersey, go to stfranciscathedral.org. That's in Metuchen, and the info will be there, how you sign up and how you go. And speaking of signing up, Judy signed up. And I understand it through Eric. She communicated this to him. She was there at the taping of the shows. Thank you, Judy.
Hi there.
Thank you for going to the shows. Which ones did you go to?
I went to the one last night, the last one.
The last one. Boy, weren't those kids something? They just...
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
They were an enthusiastic, rowdy bunch. Well, thank you for doing that. It's always, I'm always grateful for anyone who adds energy to the audience, because the show would not work without an audience. It's that straightforward. So, what can we talk about? What do you got going on, Judy?
Well, I've got a family member, age 25, that's been battling an eating disorder for about 12, 13 years.
Yikes.
Yes. Recently hospitalized after a collapse, The family knows and really was trying to get these doctors, come on, what can we do? Because, the HIPAA laws keep the family pretty much in the dark, having to trust what the child decides to share with them.
Yeah.
So how might you go about getting this child to a facility for an evaluation to get some inpatient help, since she doesn't see there's a problem?
What kind of eating problem does she have?
The anorexia.
Oh, that's serious.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
serious.
It's kind of how Karen Carpenter died.
Exactly.
It can create heart problems.
Yes. Yes.
So when she goes to the hospital or wherever she goes for short-term treatment, what do they do?
Well, they bring her up to a level to get her levels of everything up to where they can release her.
So they get her to at least a subnormal healthy weight. Why doesn't she sign herself out? She doesn't have to stay there.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
And also, why does she even agree? If you say, Judy, she sees no reason for any kind of intervention, why does she even go?
Well, what happened was she collapsed. She collapsed at I don't know if she was at work or at a volunteer thing. She collapsed, and so the people she was with, they had to call an ambulance, and that's how she ended up in the hospital. She didn't recognize her family members until a day later, till they started getting their levels up. Yeah. So, so my sister wants to, get her more acute help, but how do you get her in to be evaluated if she doesn't see there's a problem?
Well, you are asking the $64,000 question.
Oh,
which
I should have asked this on your show.
Yeah, I know it. I would have stumbled there too. Which is, how do you convince someone to get some help if their attitude perception is, I don't need it. Leave me alone. That's real hard to get past. I mean, even in therapy, that's really hard to get past. I guess I would talk to her mom, and say, what have you talked with her about? In other words, ask the daughter, how much is this is threatening your well-being? How much of it is affecting your job? You collapsed on your job. How much of it is, if she's had blood work, well, that blood work's probably screwy all over the place. How much is that happening? Are you starting to have heart arrhythmias? What is going on with you health-wise? And if the daughter just bats it away with, I'm fine. I'm just fine. There's nothing here. I'm fine. At that point, mom's got to go, okay, you're 25 years old. I'm going to pray for you with everything I got, but I cannot push you into doing this. And you think about it this way, Judy. If this girl collapsed at work and was so disoriented, her blood work was so messed up that she was in some kind of delirium where she didn't even recognize relatives. If that's not enough to get her to think, I got to do something about this, I don't know how persuasion will.
Mm-hmm.
And you say this, you say she's been doing this for 12 years. How bad is her weight? I mean, what height is she, and what does she typically weigh?
I'm going to say she's around the low 70s. Weight. And probably, yeah, maybe about 5'2", 5'3", maybe. Mm-hmm.
Yikes. And she's typically functioning at that weight for years?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, let me back up. I think she may have it may be going up a little bit and then back down.
Well, typically in situations like this, there is a very distorted body image. She sees herself as fat, even at 70 pounds. I had a friend who was heavy into ballet, and she said that was rampant in the ballet population of people who are really trying to upwardly strive, which is they are at risk, terrible risk, for eating disorders and body dysmorphia. I guess I can leave you with this, Judy. Talk to Mom and have Mom explore with the daughter about her health. Not her looks, her health. And maybe the daughter will commit. I think they did this probably at the emergency room. The daughter will commit to blood work. And that can serve as a health warning as opposed to an appearance warning. And I'm hoping that maybe she could tell the daughter, let's get something longer term to get you up to a more healthy 100 pounds, which in and of itself at 5'2" is very slender. But yikes-o-matic, this is a long-term problem. And you didn't say this. I'll close with this, Judy. I got to believe there's a whole bunch of other problems floating around in this situation. This isn't just a matter of I'm a completely well-adjusted human being and socially I'm comfortable and at ease. And, oh, by the way, I don't eat much. I don't. Generally, that's not the way it is. All righty, my dear. Well, thank you for caring about her. Sit down, talk with Mom, and see if Mom can decide how to approach this from a health standpoint. And thanks for coming last night, my dear. And I do not appreciate, and I told the cameraman, we have to edit out where you fell asleep. I told him, I said, just take that camera, edit out that part. Don't focus on her when she's out there. But the snoring, I don't know what we can do about that because those microphones pick up everything. So,
they do.
Yeah. Thank you, sweetheart, for everything. I'll talk to you.
Sure.
This is Dr. Ray. Talk to you in a minute.
This program brought to you in part by Ave Maria, Florida, a big kind of small town where golf carts take you everywhere and there's always something fun around the corner. Discover championship golf, resort-style amenities, and a town center full of shopping and dining. With Ave Maria University and Ave Maria Catholic Church at its heart, it's a community full of connection and charm. More than 25 model homes are available for viewing. More information can be found at AveMaria.com. That's AveMaria.com.
When we ask our Father to give us this day our daily bread, are we merely asking for daily nourishment? We are, says the Catholic Catechism, indeed asking the Father who gives us life for the material and spiritual nourishment which life requires. But we are asking for much more. Those who seek the kingdom of God and its righteousness, God has promised to give all else besides. Since everything belongs to God, he who possesses God possesses everything, if he himself is not found wanting before God. The drama of hunger in the world, therefore, calls upon all Christians to exercise responsibility toward their needy brethren, both in their behavior and in their solidarity with the human family. This petition also applies to another hunger from which people are perishing, thirst for the word of the Lord, and for Catholics receiving his body in the Eucharist, which is our daily bread. This is Peggy Stanton, and this has been the Order of Malta's Minute with the Catechism.
CMF Curo is a Catholic healthcare ministry providing families nationwide with a better solution centered around whole health, spirit, mind, and body. Our members share their medical burdens within a faith-filled community. At CMF Curo, our members have access to a spiritual director, concierge services, and other health and spiritual resources. Find out if CMF Curo is a better solution for your family. Visit mycatholichealthcare.com. That's mycatholichealthcare.com.
People ask me, why don't you say, I'll be right back? Or, stay there. You know why? Because that is just fluff talk. Of course I'm going to be right back. Where am I going to go? 23 years of doing the show, did I ever not come back after a break? And then, stay right there. Well, I'm ordering you to stay right there. What if you have to get out of the car? What if you have to go do something else? What if your phone drops? I don't want to tell you, stay right there. Stay tuned. That's all. To me, that's kind of like, well, the different filler words, that's radio filler. Yeah, um's a big one. Is huge. I even fall prey to that Let's go to Ann from St. Louis, another great network, Covenant Radio Network. And Adam Wright, I got to call you back if you're listening. I got the call. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Dr. Ray. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my dear. So, what's
what's
up with his daughter here?
Well, she's a great kid. She's it's me who I'm calling about. So just a little.
You're not a great kid. You're not a great kid.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's me. I'm holding on a little too tight. So she was born 9 weeks early, and both of her lungs collapsed, and she had a chest tube, and she was in the NICU for 54 days. And she's the youngest of all the kids, and so I kind of knew, what she had a great vocabulary and language, and she met all of her milestones. But I noticed she wasn't putting words together. And I brought it to my pediatrician when she was
Ann, we're going to run out of time, so I'm going to have to bring you up to the future here. What is it now that you're struggling with?
Well, she's 20. She's going to be 21 soon. And she goes to college. She's going to graduate next semester, and she's applied to grad school. And so she has her driver's license, and she's getting out there in the world. But I'm having trouble letting her go. And I don't think she really wants to get out there immersed too much.
Are you saying that after she graduates, you want her to come and live at home?
Well, she goes to college close by. She's
at home. Okay. So if she gets a job, she'll live at home with you.
She has well, I'm always telling her, that eventually you're going to move out and everything, and you got to clean up your room and clean up. And she does a fairly decent job with all that. But and she has a job. She works actually 2 jobs. She's I'm
going to have to hurry along again here, Ann. We're going to run out of time. So given that,
I don't know,
when she graduates, what are you saying?
Yeah. Well, she's going to go to grad school.
All right, and she'll stay at home, so you don't have to make this decision for another few years.
Yeah. So, and she's graduating from college early, so she's going to be 21. And
is she capable of living on her own, even though you'll say she'll make some dumb decisions?
Yes. She's capable of getting ready for school and taking a shower and cooking. She cooks her own breakfast and things like that.
And does she want to live on her own?
No, I think she likes being around the family and
the comforts of home. Yeah, it's a pretty good gig.
Yes.
Well, here's what you're going to probably face. The situation is this. You can probably make the case that when she's at school, I did that with my son. He was 26 when he graduated from grad school, and he was cooperative and pleasant young man. He graduated and then ultimately moved toward independence. It's the way. Couple of my kids, I had to say, you're going to have to be independent because you could linger here forever if I let you. So that's the decision you're going to face. At some point in the next few years, you're going to say, well, is she pleasant? Is she cooperative? And if that's the case, I can let her live here and save money. And at some point, I will say it's time. If she's not, if she wants to be independent and you think to yourself, but no, you're not really ready. It's a big bad world out there, and I don't want to think about what you're going to do and say and think. Well, that is you, and that's right. And just because she wouldn't make the mature decisions you would make doesn't mean she can't be independent. Doesn't mean that.
So I probably need some guidance on how to do this, because she will probably do whatever I tell her to do. So if I
then you decide at some point. You decide. She's in a position. She's 23 years old. She's in a position. It's time to be an independent adult. And let's see how we're going to set this up. I'll help you find an apartment. You got a job, ready to go. Spread your wings there. You're not an empty nester. You're a bird launcher. And given that's the decision you'll have to make. And the thing that you're going to struggle with is, but I worry about her. Well, yeah, you're gonna. I worry about some of my kids too. But that doesn't stop me
like locking
from
the
saying
door at night
the better move. Yeah, the better move is to be independent. And thank you, honey. I got to run. The clock is going to tell me to shut up. So bless your heart. Good luck with your little daughter. By the way, I was just told from Eric Dumont, you go to stfranciscathedral.org, one big long word, .org. That is where we're having the men's conference in Metuchen this Saturday. So if you want to sign up and be there, I'd love to have you. I know we got a lot of listeners in our affiliate there in Metuchen, New Jersey. That's right. I didn't say New Jersey, did I? All right, thanks for keeping me company. Eric Dumont, bless you. This is Dr. Ray. Walk with God. Dependent or independent, walk with Him.
For information on Dr. Ray's presentations, books, and CDs, visit drray.com and follow him on Facebook and Instagram. The Doctor Is In is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio and carried across the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.